One's Warm Hat. This is a video on the museum hoax. So museums are hoaxes. They're just full of nothing but crap art projects, bad fakes. So their system, it's a house of cards, you know. Their fake museums prop up their fake history. Their fake ancient sites prop up their fake history. Their fake specialists prop up their fake disciplines and give out fake diplomas for their fake BS. So it's all fake. I thought this was hilarious in the Wikipedia article for museums. Early museums began as the private collections of wealthy individuals. What do you know? Families or institutions of art. You know, people don't just find artifacts. It's just the rich people. They're the only ones that ever find artifacts. So that's truth in plain sight. Words are spelling, artifact, art, fact. So they're building into the word fact. So if somebody but art, there. So the truth is right there, and it's just a piece of art, but they're selling it to you as some sort of fact of history. And yeah, spelling matters. The English language is totally satanic, subverted. Okay, so these were often displayed in so-called wonder rooms or cabinets of curiosities. It's like Ripley's Believe It or Not. It's ridiculous. Um, yeah, cabinets of crap. Public access to these museums was often possible for the respectable, in quotations, the aristocrats, especially to private art collections, but at the whim of the owner and his staff. So, hoax. This has hoax written all over it. One way that the elite men of the period gathered a higher social status is they took it up the butt and they learned that it's all just a big joke. So you can go on and read these. One of these naturalist collectors was Ulysses Andronovi. Let's see if it's a free Martin. Oh, here's the Cabinet of Curiosities. We'll go to that. Yeah, look, it's just a tranny. So that's just a feminine skull. Blind in the right eye. So this one's a Mason, transgender, sodomite. Cabinet of Curiosities. Look at the black and white diamond Freemason tiling. And the gnarly whale. A male gnarly whale tusk was, or a unicorn horn was common. So truth in plain sight. Look at this. This is at like the Museum of London or something. What? This looks like some crappy art project somebody did 20 years ago, and it's just been sitting in this glass case for 20 years. This isn't an artifact. This wasn't in ancient Egypt. This looks like crap. Just look at how, honestly, just look at it. This looks like somebody could make this today, you know, in 2 hours, and it would look better. So this wasn't, what do they say? This is like the organ jars or whatever. So they're selling you a story. They make some crappy art project, artifact, and they sell you a story. Represents an anus, this right here. All seeing eye. Like they even put like the eyebrow over the it's made up. This doesn't say anything. Um, it's just made up crap. It's an art project. That's it. And they stick it behind glass. They sell you a story. Chambre à coucher. So people pay money to go look at just like something like this. And then it's like obviously nobody slept here. So I don't understand the appeal of going into these big buildings and looking at furniture that allegedly people slept in. But yeah, the beds were never big, but then they tell you weird stories about, oh, they were like miniature back then or something. So I don't know. Uh, who knows? I don't understand the appeal with this. There's probably something to it. You guys, I felt like putting this comment because there's something to going through these huge mansions and just looking at people's furniture. I don't understand it. So you'll have to let me know what that's all about. But probably hoax, you know, maybe nobody actually lived there and they want to show off opulence. I don't know exactly what it is. But look at this. You think that this was ancient Egyptian or just some crappy art project that somebody did 20 years ago? It just looks terrible. Like like little kids do stuff like this in like fifth grade. And so you take one of those, you get an adult with semi-competent art skills to do these kids crafts, and this is what it looks like. Hey, look, guys, the National Museum of Iran. This thing is from 7,000 to 61, so double seven, 777. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is just some BS that somebody made like 5 years ago. It's whatever. Whenever they say they found it, somebody could go make this. How do you? It's just really people just believe whatever. Don't touch this pile of crap with the mason orange tiling. So you go to a museum, you're just seeing crap. It's just a bunch of crap, and they sell it to you as I don't know something that it's not. These things they'll try to tell you that this is like chiseled, but then if you look at how it's broken, it's just obviously some sort of poured cement with a finish on the outside. You can just tell. It's not a block of obsidian or whatever. They sell you a story. 5,000 pygmy midget Egyptian slaves chiseled away at this obsidian. Obsidian is the hardest material in the world, and there were 5,000 pygmy Egyptian slaves with their copper chisels chiseling away, and that's how they made these statues. That's what they'll tell you. Something like that. Everybody knows now that these bones are fake. It's probably just giraffe vertebrae, some sort of, I don't know, mock-up. It's taxidermy is the it's just hoaxery. They just mix and match. This is probably like an elephant femur. These are probably whale vertebrae. Well, that's all it is. This is probably just fake. They probably just add a bunch of spines together. This is probably like three spines of an animal kind of put together, like three whale spines put together. So you see, it'd be easy to fake this stuff. And they even tell you the bones are, well, we keep the bones in the back. Okay, sure you do. So, like, you really think this is from ancient Egypt? Look at the black and white tiling in the background. Look at that. Black and white tiling. It's Mason. It's fake. This isn't real Egyptian. This is just some art project somebody did. Figure out when the Louvre opened. I'm sure the paint looked even fresher back then. Because this just looks fresh. This just looks like a modern art project. Same thing with these. These are just castings. Nobody's chiseling this. This is just a casting of some sort of just concrete. Look at it. So they have some sort of concrete that is good for making sculptures out of. There you go. I mean, you see these things on the side of the highway all the time. They're pretty nice looking, yeah, sculptures made out of concrete. So there you go. They have some ancient Egyptian toned concrete, and they're making a statue, and then they bash it into a few pieces. I don't know why I threw this in here, just because this is the only type of museum that I guess I should put some positive. Sometimes you think that you're gonna go see something weird, but you're like, okay, there's like a clock museum. I feel like these are okay. Because yeah, just go check out some clocks or whatever, but pay a bunch of money to go to the Louvre. You're just seeing a bunch of BS art project selling you fake his story, which is just Mason BS. But go to a little clock museum. That might be fun. I might pay $10 to go to a clock museum, but I'm not going to go to the Louvre. They claim that this is chiseled. They claim that this is chiseled. It's so clearly some sort of just like a concrete slab with a pressed image in it. So, yeah, don't listen to anything they tell you. It's probably just an art project. Look at it. It's like stenciled. I'm telling you, it's like a pressed concrete pattern, and they just have a different pattern for a couple different arms, but the body looks identical. It's just a stamp. The feet look identical. So, and you can see it's just a thin layer of something and they just press into it. So this is at the Louvre. It's like crap. Doesn't look good. I mean, that's just what they do though. They make something that's like okay, and then they sell you a story. Oh, because the reason it's repeated over and over, just that was the Egyptian style. Okay, it's because you're using stamps. So you do it like that to make it easy. Um, at least that's what it looks like to me. One thing that I don't see a lot of people talk about that I just thought of, how do they get this from Egypt all the way to Paris looking like this? Because you can't even ship something modern days, you can't even ship something without it getting here all broken in 5,000 pieces. So I don't believe that this ever was in Egypt or Africa or anything. This was probably made in Paris, plaster of Paris. Isn't that a thing? So yeah, probably just made in Paris, I would imagine. Look at this. Oh, you believe that these were made in ancient Egypt? What, because it's a cat? Ancient Egyptians loved cats. Therefore, if you find a cat statue, it must be ancient Egyptian, right? So I liked this idea. It's kind of a pyramid above, below, also makes a cube shape. So, um, yeah, they would like that idea for sure. And the old with the new, all the same people, just the Masons. Uh, yeah, so there's definitely something to that. I mean, the people that built the Louvre are the same people that built the pyramid. I think that's the general idea. You can go see this one at the Louvre. Oh, there's masonry behind it. It's on top of masonry. I bet the reason the head's chopped off. So this one, you when you see it in person, it's not that impressive actually. Yeah, it looks chunky. It's like thick and yeah, probably just a poured concrete sculpture. But the head's chopped off. I bet you the reason the head's chopped off is because it used to be a dude. So this stuff, I don't know how they do this stuff. You guys will have to let me know how they do these type of, but it's definitely not chiseled. That's the most ridiculous thing. These are very interesting. The very life-like, I mean, it's life. It's lifelike. So, you guys will have to let me know about these ones. But surely these curls a lot of times represent like 666. You'll see three big curls, or just the curl. It's the antithesis of the straight and narrow path. So I don't know. They like to get a lot of the very defined curls. Yeah, look at this. You think that's ancient Egypt or just some BS art project? Like, look, if somebody just showed this to you, and look at that, do you know what that is? That's the Mason. This is the compass. So if somebody just showed this to me, I would be like, okay, what? That's like some sort of art project, right? No, they're selling. This is ancient Egypt in the Louvre. So BS. You can just tell that this is modern. It's just a bunch of modern Mason made up his story BS. These are just little trinkets. It's not ancient Egyptian anything. So Egypt from the Bible probably was a thing. People have been saying in my comments. So I don't know. I don't have any theories on this. People have been saying, well, the real Egypt is in Ireland. I've heard that before. So I don't know. I'm not an expert on any of that stuff. But Egyptology is for sure just total Masonic made up crap. So whatever the Bible talks about Egypt is going to be more accurate, but don't listen to anything that your history books or any of that tells you. That is just such crap. Anything that they need to indoctrinate you with as a child. So did you ever wonder why the heck do you spend so much time with this Egypt BS? It's because they anything that's biblical, they want to ingrain with you their own BS made up stuff. So Egypt, right? Super biblical. They don't want you reading the Bible and figuring out about Egypt. They want to sell you a story with the pyramids and the don't you think that the Bible should talk about the pyramids if the pyramids were a thing in Egypt? So that proves that the pyramids are just fake modern stuff right there. The Bible would talk about it if there were pyramids. So all right, yeah, that's mostly it. I'll try to just end. I think, oh yeah, so this, and it's just a modern thing. This wasn't, you can't have something that's this intact that survives from ancient Egypt. That doesn't make sense. You know, things don't last like a decade nowadays. So how is this thing supposed to be lasting so long? Barely has any chips in it. Yeah, I don't buy it. So I thought this was hilarious. Authentic ancient Egyptian artifacts for sale. Oh, this is interesting. Contact Gabriel. Authentic ancient Egyptian artifacts for sale. All of these are 100% guaranteed, folks. I thought this one was great. A rare pair of Roman bangles of palm fiber, $299. Wow. Look at that. That just looks like something off a grubby, uh, you know, what do you call it? Hippie person at a music festival or something. Like Burning Man. I'm sure that you can find these for like $2 at Burning Man. So they throw a couple beads on it. Okay. How how how's a palm fiber bangle supposed to last? Oh man, yeah, that just doesn't make any sense, right? So you gotta be a skeptic about these things. Like look at this, $750 for an alleged ancient Egyptian alabaster vessel. I thought it was interesting. The descriptions that this person uses is very strange too. How do you corroborate that that thing's ancient Egyptian? I just don't understand it. Is somebody really going to pay 750? You're buying a story. I thought these were crazy. Look at this. A wall tile back with a hieroglyphic indicator on top. What? They're selling this for $650. London private collection. It's just a bunch of masons with BS crap. It's like it's money laundering. That's the only explanation I can think of. Old Kingdom Egypt. You believe that this tile is from 2668? I'm sure if you come in and look at how do they claim to nail the year down like that? You're telling me that they have some sort of what is that? 19-year window? Give me a break. Oh, $900 for that one, guys. 899. This one's sold for 750. Wow. So that's a really good condition Egyptian tile. So yeah, it's a joke. All this stuff's a joke. I thought this was hilarious. Authentic ancient Egyptian mummy masks. What? But then here, they totally gave it away right here. Where did they say? Oh yeah. High quality ancient beads restrung into original configuration. So they even a lot of times they tell you that it's a hoax. These are just ancient beads that are restrung. And look at, do you think that the ancient Egyptians put this on their, look how stupid these look. Nobody put this on their face as a death mask. You would be like, what the F is that? Just check out how ridiculous it is. Yeah, I mean, we can just end there because look at that. No ancient Egyptian is putting this as a death mask. It's ridiculous. They're selling you a story.